We are in Kula Chimneys. Especially the Cappadocia is very famous, globally famous for the fairy chimneys, which has these heads and long body structure, all naturally formed. Although they visually look like to the fairy chimney formation in Cappadocia, they are quite different. First of all, the structure of the body of fairy chimneys is not made of volcanic material. This is not volcanic, this is the mud. This is Tohoma, just of the Hermes River. This is the Hermes River, Gediz, one of the biggest rivers on the Aegean area. The problem is, this is at the top we see a black strata. It's going, and this is the first volcanic activity in Kula, 1.1 million years ago. These were the first volcanoes. And before, that river which is flowing down were flowing over there. But it was very, very high. And all this material, you see those pebbles, all those materials are carried here by the river. So, for instance, when the river was not strong or the climate was quite dry, it only was able to bring fine material. And there was a period that lots of rain, lots of floods, the river was strong, and you see it was able to carry big pebbles. So here we see that even at the time there were lots of climate fluctuations. It was going up, down, wet periods, dry periods. And what happened? The structure. So at the top we have basaltic lava. This is 1.1 million years. The top is the basaltic lava. Beneath, these are the loose material of the Gediz Hermes River. And something very valuable, on the contact zone, if you will be close, you will see a very red line, which is called the cooked line. Because the hot lava, when it was flowing on the mud, it cooked it. Some sort of burning, cooking in that sense. And here, why we have fairy chimneys in this area? Because during this volcanic activity, there were lots of silicified, what makes the petrified forest in Sigri, the silica in the soil. There was also in this area, but as though there were no tree trunks, so those silicified material just looked something to stick, and they stick some parts of the bedrock. So normally it is loose. Yeah, this material you can just dig it, but if you infiltrate it, if you pass silica inside, then it becomes very hard. So during this period, there were periods where silica was penetrating to the soil and it was making one layer strong. And there were some periods there were no silica and it is again loose. So we call this selective erosion. So when this area was exposed, this is eroded much more faster and easier than the silicified one. This is why it remains like a hat at the top, and the rest easily eroded, and it protects the body as its circumference. So normally these are the same material. This is not volcanic, this is not volcanic either, but this is pretty hard, almost as hard as the volcanic one, because this has silica and also other minerals, probably metallic minerals, which penetrated inside. And you see these are all the mountains behind, they become gravel and carried by the river, and the silica just made it a lot stronger. In Cappadocia, this head is volcanic. It's lava flow. Here, the head is not volcanic, and the structure, the body, is not tufa either. So this is a very different, let's say, variation of fairy chimney. It is not as spectacular as the Cappadocian one, but this is another color, another taste. So you can see the schist, you can see the quartzite. So looking to this gravel, I can more or less imagine from which area this river is coming, because the river brings all of its stories. These are the stories of the river. So this is the hat.
Yes.
Maybe twin sisters. You can see the climate fluctuations. Lots of fine material when the river was very weak, when the precipitation and the rain was very low, the river became less with water and it was not able to carry big material. And all of a sudden you see there is a red line and above it you see big piece of pebbles. And these pebbles are also not very round, which means that they were coming somewhere near. So the river didn't have enough time to roll them and make them more shiny, because the more it rolls, it begins to shine, and then it become more or less spherical. They are not spherical, they have sharp edges, which means that they are not coming from far. But during this period, here I shouldn't want it to be in this place, which means that there are lots of floods, too much rain, unstable river regime. So what we are talking today due to the global warming, the carbon dioxide, the climate is changing. There are lots of projects globally, UN, but the reality is climates were never stable. There were no periods on planet Earth history that we have fine climate. Oh, let's rest. No, the climate, even before humans, even we exposed all these greenhouse gases, yes, the climate was still going up, down, and you can see how fast it was. You see, for a long time, the river was very, very flat and very slow. And just, it began to check, wow. And all of a sudden, it stopped. Again, it became very, very calm. It just was able to carry very fine material, very fine, very small. Just this image shows us how much climate change. We don't say change because it's not changing one to this. It's going like the waves. It's going up, and it's a fluctuation. It's going up and down. It's not going anywhere. Actually, it's just in its own place. It's going up and down. There's a pathway. We can go till the corner because there are other formations. If you see, just at the top, they are pentagon, hexagon shape, just over there.
Wow.
This area again requires, just this area requires at least one day. Make a walk over there at the top. And this is also very important castle. A part of it is man-made. A part of this rock is natural lava. This is Tabala Castle. This is one of the most important castle of the Roman period because you see a narrow throat, narrow passage over there. This is more or less the only place you can pass from Aegean Anatolia to the central Anatolia. Otherwise, you have to climb to the mountains. You will be destroyed. So, someone who is wise and clever, keeping this area, is controlling all the communication, trade, everything between Anatolia. Anatolia means Caucasus, to the Iran, Persia, to the south, to the Arabia, to the Egypt. And it all has to come and pass from here. Very strategic point. And you see, Father Caesar has created a big castle. You cannot recognize from here. Some part is naturally lava, another part is man-made walls. And at the top you have plenty of archaeology.